Hi guys, so we've used trigonometry to find missing sides. So now we're going to try to find missing angles if we have two different sides. So the inverse trigonometry is when you know two sides and you need to find a missing angle. So for sine, you can kind of see it as sin. The inverse, you'll see it as to the power of -1. Cosine, same thing, power of -1. Tangent, same thing, power of -1. Depending on what calculator you're using is going to be how you're going to see this. So on a calculator like this, I choose my trigonometry function. I choose the second button right here. You can see sine -1, cosine -1, tangent -1. There are options on just Google searches as well. So, you don't need to see me. Let's go ahead and take that off. Okay. So if you're just Googled calculator and you're on this page, right here, there's an inverse button. You would just click the inverse and you can see it says sine -1, cosine -1, tangent -1. If you went on to the calculator.net button, they actually already have them right here. They're already ready to go. Make sure you see it says degrees. That's going to be important because we're measuring our angles in degrees. Don't worry about radians yet. That's going to be another day, another time. But we're measuring our angles in degrees. Okay, so let's look at an example problem. Let's say I have this triangle right here. Oh, won't turn it. Oh, that did not happen. Okay. I have this triangle. I have this angle right here. Don't know the measure, but I know that this side is 40 and I know that this side is 13. So it's really important, once again, to figure out what's what based off of this angle right here. We're focusing on this angle, the measurement of this angle. So if we drew a line outward like that, that would actually be our opposite. So I can already know that my 13 is going to equal to my opposite. And then I also can draw a line out from my right angle right there. And I know that my, the one that comes out from the right angle is going to be my hypotenuse. So I can go ahead and say that's equal to my hypotenuse. This side doesn't matter, but I would know just based off of it creating the angle with the hypotenuse, that's going to be my adjacent side. Okay, so we can remember SOHCAHTOA. I have my O and I have my H. So can't do that, need an A, can't do that, need, and I have my H. So I'm going to use my sine. So sine of the angle is equal to the opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, so sine of my angle is going to equal to 13 divided by 40. So this is actually kind of similar to what we did before when we're just creating our ratios, but now we're going to take it one step further. Now we're going to know how many degrees is that angle. So I'm going to probably use different calculators for different problems just to show you what they kind of look like. So let's say I have, for the calculator like this, it'd be 13 divided by 40 equals, and I'm going to click my trigonometry, click my I already have my second chosen. I'm going to take the inverse sine. So I'm going to take my sine -1 of 13 over 40, and you're going to essentially flip them like any inverse. You're going to flip the two, equals your degrees. And so when I take this value in my calculator, that gives me 18.96. So I'm just going to round that to about 19 degrees is equal to my angle. And that would be your answer. So this is something that you're going to solve using a calculator. I don't expect anyone to be doing this in their head. Okay, so let's take a look at another example problem. Let's say I have this triangle right here. And we're going to focus on this angle right here. And I know this side is 3 and I know this side is going to be 9. So automatically I could draw a line out from here. I know this is going to be my hypotenuse. I can draw a line out from here. I know that's going to be opposite. Ooh, too much. So my 9 is equal to my opposite. And I know that this hypotenuse as well as my adjacent create my angle. So I know that this 3 is going to equal to my adjacent. Okay, so now what I do is I'm going to go ahead and look at my SOHCAHTOA. And I have a value for my O, which is opposite, and I have a value for my A, which is adjacent. So I have OA, the only one would be my tangent. So tangent of my angle is going to equal to opposite over adjacent. Okay. So now tangent of my angle is going to equal to 9 over 3. So I'm going to go ahead and take my inverse tangent. I'm going to switch where I have my fraction and my degrees. So inverse tangent of 9 divided by 3 equals my angle. So I'm going to try a different calculator this time. So let's do inverse tangent of 3, and that's going to give me 71.56. The angle is equal to that many degrees, and I'm just going to round it to about 72 degrees is equal to my angle. And that would be my final answer. Let me go ahead and do one more. Okay, so I'm looking at this angle right here. This is my right angle. This side is 43, and this side has a length of 51. So automatically, I could draw a line out. That's going to be my hypotenuse. If I drew a line out from the angle, that's going to be my opposite. And if I know that this line here and this line here, my hypotenuse create my angle, I know that this is going to have to be my adjacent. Okay, so I have an adjacent A and a hypotenuse H. I don't know my L. So SOHCAHTOA. So it's going to be this cosine right here. So it's going to be cosine of my angle is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And then, so cosine of my angle, and that value is 43 over 51. And let's go ahead and try the other calculator. It's going to be inverse cosine. Oh, I already forgot it. 43 divided by 51. 43 divided by 51. That does, oh, wait, no, hold on. What am I doing wrong? Cosine inverse 43 over 51 is going to equal to the angle. Let me try it right here. What did I do wrong? So 43 divided by 51. And then I'm going to take my inverse cosine. It should be 32.52 degrees. And why did I not get that here? Cosine. Okay, so maybe don't use this. Oh, I see what's wrong. This is exactly what's wrong. So this was in radians. We need to be in degrees. So that's a good example of why you need to be in degrees. You're going to get a weird answer. Okay, so let's try this one more time. So cosine inverse. Oops, let me go ahead and clear this out. And it should be in degrees now. Give me 43 divided by 51. There we go, 32.52. So great example of you're going to get a weird number. You're not going to have like a point something of degree. So we're going to have 32.52. And then we can go ahead and round that up to about 33 degrees. Ooh. And that would be your final answer. So essentially before we either had like a missing side, and so now we can actually use our trigonometry to find a missing angle measurement.